Hello, and welcome to our Wimbledon conversations today with Sara Perelman from IBM. Hello, Sara.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Sara, you are an innovation project lead for IBM at Wimbledon. Can you explain to us what your role is and how you became an innovation project lead?
Yeah, so I work on the IBM consulting team in the IX sports and live events practice. So we deliver digital experience for some of the premier sporting events around the world, Wimbledon, the Masters, US Open, and more. And funny enough, I actually grew up playing tennis. I played in USTA juniors and then played at Cornell University in college. So I'm a very big tennis player and tennis fan. So being able to come up with the next big fan experience in my day job has been a dream come true. So I'm very happy to be on this team and here at Wimbledon today.
A few years back, IBM launched the IBM Power Index. Can you explain what is the IBM Power Index and how is that relevant?
The Power Index measures a player's momentum, so how well these players are performing going into Wimbledon. So as well as how they are actually playing in the tournament itself. So if you think about it, the WTA and ATP rankings are based on a point system. So it doesn't really consider momentum and how pundits and experts are talking about these players in the news. But the Power Index is able to do that and updates real time throughout the tournament. That gives fans a more accurate and insightful way to see who's hot and who's not, leading into the tournament as well as during the championships itself.
But this year, IBM has introduced a new measurement, which is called the AI draw analysis. In my head, it's like something very similar, but they are not exactly the same. So can you explain, the differences and why you build something different?
The draw is something that's part of every tennis event. And by looking at the power index and thinking about who the dark horses are, who are the players that have the momentum, we thought the IBM draw analysis would be a really cool way to build upon that and identify who has the most favorable or difficult draws as the draws come out pre-tournament and then as the draw progresses. So we're actually able to assign a favorability or difficulty rating per round for each of these players, as well as an overall rating of how well we think these players are going to do in the tournament. We're also able to see the projections of who these players are potentially going to play as the rounds progress and as upsets occur and as some really exciting stuff starts to happen in the championship. So I know as a fan, this has been super useful for me. And I hope it has been for others as well.
Can you expand and explain why the usage of structured and unstructured data are brought to this AI draw analysis?
For all of our projects, we use a lot of data. If you think about a tennis match, there's constantly data coming off of the players' rackets, from the court itself, from fans, from social media. There's so much data. And we're capturing all of that, both structured and unstructured, to build these super cool features that we introduce each year. So it really gives an opportunity for us to create some really cool narratives and stories about the players, about the key storylines of the tournament, and also able to create some real-time insights to create that more personalized experience for fans as they're watching tennis and logging onto the app and the website to enjoy the tournament and their favorite players.
We just touched AI so far. There are two other terms that were mentioned during my visit to the IBM booth at Wimbledon. It was generative AI and LLM, large language model, with Watson and Watson X. How have you brought generative AI and LLM at Wimbledon this year?
Yeah, so it's a really exciting time, I think, for everyone, especially in the sports world. And just like every business, I think we're realizing that the possibilities are truly endless with large language models. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of data being captured, and we're really using large language models to automate and create more content based on all the data that happens during a tennis match. So for one, which we'll talk about more, AI commentary is something that we're actually using one of the large language models at IBM called Watson X to create audio content about video highlight packages. So really taking advantage of this technology, this AI, and creating new forms of content that's automated for fans to enjoy. And I really see it as a way to create more types of content. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day that a human can do, and there's so many matches going on at Wimbledon. So finding ways to capture data and create content for fans on perhaps some of the matches and players that don't make prime time. I think that's something that we're working on with the club and large language models here at IBM.
Sara, in your view, how does the IBM AI commentary enhance the fan experience?
Yeah, so one of the ways that the AI commentary enhances the fan experience is creating more insights of some of the key moments of the match. So we use the AI highlights platform as the foundation. So we're able to determine what are the most highlight-worthy moments in a match using AI, and then pairing that with the work that we've done in audio, we're able to create a commentary track that highlights those key moments for fans to enjoy across the app and the website. So it really gives the fans an extra layer of insight, and also automates the creation of this content for the Wimbledon content team.
One important thing when we talk about AI is the reliability and the accuracy of the predictions, of course. What type of safeguards have you put in place to ensure these predictions are high-level predictions?
Yeah, so one of the ways that we ensure the reliability and the accuracy of our predictions is that we're actually doing a lot of testing and validating behind the scenes all year round. So we use the other Grand Slam events as our source of truth. And we're running these AI models and projections during these other events as a way to test what we're going to eventually unveil to fans during the championships. We also work with tennis subject matter experts to validate the results and make sure that what it is that we're projecting is in fact possible and true in the tennis world. And then lastly, during the live event itself, we ensure that the data that we're getting in, the input, matches how we've been training these models behind the scenes throughout the year. So we have different levers where we can see in real time to make sure that the data that we're inputting into the models are in fact what we've been testing with, and everything is working as it should during our testing and training processes.
Excellent, yeah. And that includes two people on the table at each court just to check that basically what is entered in the system is correct.
Definitely. We have statisticians at every court here on the grounds at Wimbledon inputting what's happening in real time, as well as what the technology is doing behind the scenes.
We are talking about Grand Slam event. We are talking Wimbledon. We are talking 18 courts, tens of thousands of people on site. So what are the challenges of implementing an AI solutions in a live environment such as Wimbledon?
Welcome to live events. Welcome to sporting events. Everything is unpredictable. You never know who's going to win or lose each day. It's the same thing as working behind the scenes. Things are constantly changing. And just like we as a team has to be prepared for anything, we also have to make sure that the technology and the tools that we use and the AI are prepared for the unpredictable. So we do a lot of training, a lot of testing behind the scenes, and making sure that we're prepared for any of the different edge cases that come our way. I mean, I know during this championships, there were 3 rounds that were played in one day. So no one could have predicted that. So just making sure that we've done our testing, we've done the proper training, both from a team perspective and then the tools that we use as well.
And my last question, and this is going to be interesting because you are a sportwoman who play competitive tennis in the past. How do you see the future of sport and the implication of AI in the sport in general?
For the work I do and knowing what I know about tennis, I think there's a very good opportunity as it relates to personalization. So using AI to meet fans where they are. There's so many different ways that we as a user can consume scores and content and social media posts, but using AI to really know what the fan wants to see, what type of insights they want to understand, even before the fan knows it. AI has the ability to uncover new insights that maybe a human has never realized before. So what is the next new big stat, the next gen stat in the tennis world? And I think that's something that I could really see AI helping with, uncovering those unique insights and then providing those to fans in a more personalized way.
Sara, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.